For those of you out there who got awesome anime merchandise for the holidays and you just have to show it off to even more people, that or you just want to be around your fellow fans of your favorite show around this time of year, look no further than this awesome app. This video has been sponsored by the Amino app. If you haven't heard of Amino, it's one of the biggest community apps for anime and all sorts of other fandoms that tickle your fancy. There's amazing art, theories, fan writing, conversations, and so much more for every show that you know and love. And if there isn't one, you can definitely make one yourself, and it's super easy to do. Let's take a look at it already knew what I wanted, the My Hero Academia fan page. Here we see hundreds of fans coming together with their fan art, fan fictions, and polls centered all around My Hero Academia. Best girl for Deku? Nailed it. Caption this? There will be a day when Senpai will notice me. Notice me, Senpai. And what do we have here? Oh, this meme is still alive. Help me. Alright guys, I just made a poll that I need you all to answer like right now, so just look up the My Hero Academia page, press the follow button, and answer this important question. Who has the best super suit? We must know the answer, so download the Amino app by clicking on the link down below in the description box or the link listed on this video's pinned comment. Download the Amino app, join the My Hero Academia page, and let's have fun as a community. Happy holidays, everyone, even though 2019 is almost here. Yeah, from going to holiday parties to purchasing presents and, well, you know, work, Santa Robyn barely had time making her list while checking it twice. To fit with this wholesome time of year, we're here to highlight characters who could have been on Santa's naughty list at first, only to end up on the nice list with their character arcs. One minute they're the villain our heroes had to fight, the next they're actually good friends with the heroes. Out of all the great character arcs, we've gathered the ones that had the most memorable transformation from bad to good. So with all of that said, let's end this year with Anime America's top 10 naughty to nice characters in anime. Number 10.
Ikikinte isla se tuppramsparor. Upos fix. Soiks nu te tuppra klaso inte isla klasu chashurs.
3 weeks later.
Hello and welcome. Would you like to try a meal today, sir?
Oh, Sada Omao from The Devil is a Part-Timer. Where do I even begin? One minute you're the most dangerous and hated being from your homeworld, bringing terror and chaos across the land. The next you're serving fries at a McDonald's while constantly awarded Employee of the Month. A very quick character arc for an anime, but this arc is the main point of the anime, and that's why it earns a spot on this list. Just to see a demonic ruler adapt so well to his new life on Earth and even enjoying his job as a fast food employee just makes you laugh a little. Then again, who wouldn't be happy working at a fast food joint in Japan with how awesome they make it look? But seriously, I'd say if he had to transition to an American restaurant though, it'd be a much different anime. Hey, all I'm saying is he'd probably get really pissed off and go on a murdering spree if he had to tell one more person that their ice cream machine is not working. I'm just saying. Number 9. I'm actually going to put these two together since they honestly have similar arcs. Rue, also known as Princess Crahy from Princess Tutu, and Krona from Soul Eater. Both have the ability to strike down their opponents and assist their parents in ruining the world. But then you realize just what little control they had in their situations. Both were actually raised by very corrupted parents trying to use them for their own gain. Crahy's father wants to use her to destroy the prince for sealing him away, and Krona's mother, Medusa, uses them in many experiments while also trying to bring the world down into madness. Both are victims raised to be perfect weapons, but with the help and friendship from a gentle hand, both characters are given the chance to rise up from their parents' control and do what they believe is right. Both are raised to be evil, but when given the chance, they both decide to be good. It just goes to show the impact love and friendship can have, especially for these two amazing characters. Number 8. So once again, I found two other characters with amazing character arcs that are relatively the same. Kenshin Himura from Rurouni Kenshin and Karo-sensei from Assassination Classroom. Both men were masters of their killer craft. pun intended, because they both kill people as their occupation. Kenshin was a skillful swordsman who could easily kill hundreds of men with how amazingly sharp his techniques were. Koro-sensei knew how to manipulate others and take out his opponents with great ease. Both of them killed their opponents with very little remorse until something changed their lives forever. While Kenshin questions his position in this supposed revolution, and even losing someone dear to him in the middle of it all, he flat out gives up his title as a manslayer and chooses to convert his technique so he wouldn't have to take another life ever again. With Koro-sensei listening to his dear friend Aguri while also being tested around the same time, started to make him feel something towards humanity. That is, until she is suddenly killed during his attempt to escape, so he decides to make her dream come true by becoming a teacher and saving the students left behind by a cruel system. Both men had major skills killing their opponents, but decide to take what they've learned and put it towards making their world a better place for everyone around them. Kenshin will move forward protecting peace while there are still men trying to steal and murder like in the old days, and Koro-sensei is bringing hope to his students and giving them the confidence to move forward despite their obstacles. Similar transformations in regards to a character arc, but it's these arcs that made two very interesting and memorable characters. Number 7. I am actually curious to see who remembers this one. Anubis from Ronin Warriors. The series first starts off with 5 Ronin Warriors facing off against an evil entity named Talpa and his 4 dark warlords, one of them being Anubis. He was a power-hungry accomplice trying to stop the Ronin Warriors from reuniting and stopping Talpa together, until a figure known as the Ancient One revealed his true path. It turns out that there are more Ronin Warriors and that the 4 dark warlords are just brainwashed warriors forced into serving Talpa. Even though he knows the truth, he also knows what kind of damage Talpa can really cause, especially if you're against him. In the end, however, Anubis opens up to his true power marked with loyalty and decides to join the Ronin Warriors in fighting against Talpa. After the first fight, however, the gang never really knew where he went. That is until Rowan and Ryo were in desperate need of help when their comrades were disappearing. Out of the blue, wouldn't you know it, Anubis appears at their door and has taken on the Ancient One's task in guiding the Ronin Warriors. Anubis was my favorite character from the show with how interesting his arc was. He stood up against his comrades and a powerful enemy to do what he felt was right, and devoted himself to protecting innocent lives. A great addition to this list, if I do say so myself. Number 6. The Ayakashi sisters from Sailor Moon. I'll be referring to the classic anime as their manga and crystal portrayals were pretty lackluster in comparison. All I'm saying is if you're going to make some changes from the original source material, it has to be changes that can add something more to the story. And that's how I see the Ayakashi sisters from Sailor Moon are. Koan, Birdier, Calaveras, and Pets were loyal subjects to the Dark Moon, only for things to turn south the more times they failed. With how Emerald made it clear to Rubius that Demanda was disappointed with all of his failures, he decides to treat the girls even harsher if they fail him one more time. Koan was the first to be pushed and was willing to die while trying to take out a Sailor Scout until Sailor Mars stops her in an attempt to convince her that she is worth saving and can choose a better life away from her abuse and can be loved for who she is. One after the other, Birdier, Calaveras, and Pets see how happy Koan is, and with the guidance from other Sailor Scouts, they decide to give life on Earth a chance and begin to live their lives in peace. They even go as far as to try and save Saphir, hoping he'd stay and live in peace with them, but... My childhood tears are back. But overall, we have 4 women serving a dark kingdom bent on taking over Earth, discovering that they indeed have self-worth and deserve to be loved and treated fairly, unlike what they experience with their own clan. Number 5. Coming from what many consider to be the best Pokemon movie ever made, we have Mewtwo from Pokemon 2000. I almost did it again, didn't I? Anyways, in Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo was created from Mew's DNA just because why not? It's not like he's gonna take it personally knowing he's an experimented life form created from someone else's shadow. Nope. He's not offended at all. With how he came into this world and was severely mistreated by humans, Mewtwo wanted to eliminate most life forms on Earth, just to usher in a new era he can create. To hell with humans and how they treat Pokemon. Mewtwo is going to wipe them all out and create his own world. No matter what anyone said, he was going to have his way and eliminate the source of his DNA in the progress. Until...
Oh no!
A human actually gave his life to stop the violence. Seeing this noble sacrifice gave Mewtwo a whole new perspective on life.
I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are.
The whole movie centers around this amazing character arc. Even when he suffered and wanted to take his aggression out on other species that wronged him, he puts it all away to see the bigger picture. That instead of eliminating the problem, he could do something more with the life that was given to him, and decides to move forward, protecting the balance between human and Pokemon. Coming from a franchise dedicated to creating products for all ages, this is definitely a surprising story featuring an amazing character arc. Number 4. I am not a Naruto expert. Naruto was never my thing, and when people make suggestions to add characters for these long shows that I never involve myself with, I push myself to do the research hoping I don't get any of this wrong. My point is, I owe this segment to Patreon supporter Abskepik. Hopefully I pronounced that right, and hopefully, thanks to their help, I can get this information right. Nagato and Konan from Naruto Shippuden. Some would argue whether or not Nagato and Konan were purely evil, but the point of this list is watching someone turn from naughty to nice. In their case, they went from nice to naughty, and then right back to nice. Nagato was an orphan due to the Second Shinobu World War, but was found by Konan, who took him to her friend Yahiko. The three of them trained under their sensei Jiraiya and formed their own group called Akatsuki to try and make the world a better place and maintain peace. Their movement, however, threatened the plans of a deadly ninja named Hanzo, so he captures Konan while trying to make Nagato choose who to spare. Either she dies by Hanzo's hands, or he has to kill his friend and the main Akatsuki leader, Yahiko. Yahiko then decides to take the kill for himself and sacrifices himself to save his friends. This tragic moment makes Nagato change his perspective on obtaining peace by practically forcing his vision onto the world by using fear. He even uses his Rinnegan to create the 6 Paths of Pain, which allows him to control up to 6 corpses like they were still alive, making one of them his dear friend Yahiko. Donning the name Pain, he would guide the Akatsuki toward a new path towards peace, no matter how much damage they would cause or who they would kill. This warped sense of change reaches out to Naruto as he finds Nagato's lair and reaches out to him about how he copes with pain, how he's still going to move forward and obtain peace the right way no matter how much pain he endures. These words reach out to Nagato and reminds him of his dear friend Yahiko and his dream, so he takes it upon himself to undo the damage he previously did and sacrifices himself to bring back everyone he killed in the area. This also affects Konan, who suffered alongside Nagato and stood by his side no matter what. However, when pressured to reveal where Nagato was buried so Tobi could obtain the Rinnegan, she decides to die while fighting for Naruto's true path towards peace. Both souls corrupted by war and death, vowing to seek vengeance on the world obsessed with war and death, find a way to give hope a chance and pave the way for Naruto to carry on with their dream towards true peace. Naruto can protect the world and give it the peace everyone deserves, just as our 3 orphan ninjas vowed to do at the very beginning. Number 3. Technically, I could talk about 2 of these characters, but I'm mostly going to talk about the one no one expected to be good. Sesshomaru from Inuyasha. Inuyasha technically falls under this category, as he tried to kill anyone in the way of the Shikon Jewel. Given the circumstances, however, I'm more inclined to talk about Sesshomaru, as he never really showed any sign of changing his ways. Sesshomaru is a deadly Inodai yokai, who only respected strong yokai such as himself, and saw those seeking the Shikon Jewel as pathetic and weak. He would often threaten his father to hand over the Tetsaiga to him but was always denied since Sesshomaru had no one in his heart worth protecting with his very life. He was, however, offered the Tenseiga in order to teach him compassion towards others, but he felt it was a useless item that can't be used in battle. He hated humans, hated the fact that his father died protecting a weak human with his half-brother, and naturally hated his half-brother Inuyasha. He even went as far as to tell Inuyasha that he revived his dead mother, only to threaten to kill her unless he tells him where his father's grave is. FYI, the grave is in Inuyasha's eye. Feudal demon magic, who knew? But no matter what, Sesshomaru vowed to take the sword he wanted by any means necessary, while still wondering why his father chose Inuyasha to have it. But then, after he's found resting from injuries he suffered in his last battle, an orphaned girl named Rin found him and tried to nurse him back to health. He would of course try to scare her away, but she kept coming back to his surprise. Later on, he discovers her corpse as she was attacked by one of Koga's wolves and was just going to ignore her, but felt compelled to test out his father's sword to see if it could work. She comes back to life and decides to travel with him throughout his journey. It's through his relationship with Rin that he decides to ease up and leave things the way they are. He still hates most humans and his brother, but he won't go out of his way to attack anyone now that he has someone worth protecting. He even visits Rin every once in a while at the end of Final Act while giving her some gifts. Aw, he's such a little sweetie. Oh, don't you give me that look. You know you are one. Mwah. Number 2! Okay, I'll be honest. The top 2 picks were the hardest choices I've ever had to think of for a top 10 list. A lot of you brought up amazing points for both choices. And I even had to turn to my Patreon supporters and to my friends for some extra help choosing who should be number 2 and number 1. But with careful consideration and a lot of going back and forth, we had to go with this arrangement. Coming in at number 2, but was almost number 1, is Ken Ichijoji from Digimon. From an early age, life wasn't necessarily kind to Ken, as his parents favored his older brother Sam for being a prodigy. He felt insignificant and invisible, but still had a decent relationship with his brother. One day, a Digivice lands in Sam's room, even though it was meant for Ken. But since neither of them knew what it was, Sam tucks it away in his drawer, making Ken promise not to touch it. Ken, however, felt drawn to the device and wanted to touch it, only to be transported into the digital world. After spending some time in that world while befriending a Digidestin named Rio and meeting his Digimon partner Wormmon, he teleports out with Sam seeing him holding onto the device. Sam gets mad and kicks him out of his room, which then makes Ken mad enough to wish his brother would just disappear. And wouldn't you know it, Sam is found dead shortly after his fight as he was hit by a car. Naturally, Ken feels guilty for his brother's death and retreats to the digital world to run away from reality. Shortly after, he dips his Digivice in the Dark Ocean, thus turning it into a Dark D3. The spore that implanted itself into his neck activates, which prompts him into thinking he can turn the digital world into whatever he wants. He chooses to abandon society, thinking he's better off without humanity. The digital world belongs to him and him alone. He can control the Digimon into doing whatever he wanted and didn't care what others had to say. He has the power to do what he wants, and the Digidestin cannot stop him. He even goes as far as to claim himself as the Digimon Emperor. He's still a kid, right? He's just a little kid. Like, how can someone so young be so heartless and despicable? Though the Digidestin find a way to stop him with the help of Ken's Digimon partner Wormmon, he still thinks he has control by believing he can just reset the world like it's just a computer program or a video game. But no, he finally comes to terms over the fact that the digital world is a living, breathing world, and he's done horrible things to the innocent creatures. Even his poor Wormmon dies for overexerting its powers, which really tears Ken apart. With a bit of time to recover, he finds himself at the primary village where he has to come to terms with his actions as he sees the reborn state of his previous partner. Feeling guilty for everything he's done, Ken vows to atone for all of his misdeeds and promises to do better. So Ken's actions are the result of personal turmoil and grief. He did not cope with his brother's death well, and thus took it out on the world he believed never existed. Thus, his actions are understandable, but still unforgivable. At least he can move forward surrounded by people and Digimon who love him, and that's exactly what this tragic character needed. Before we move forward, here are some honorable mentions. naughty to nice character is... At the very beginning, I assumed these two would be number 1, as they were known for having the best character arcs in anime. As amazing arguments kept rising up for number 2, however, I almost switched my decision since the candidates were just that good. Still, with careful consideration, we just have to stick with our choices for number 1. Piccolo and Vegeta from the Dragon Ball franchise. Okay, so these two are in a never-ending argument over who had the better redemption arc, considering everything that they did to the heroes and how they both made a complete 180. Okay, actually, maybe one of them did a sort of 90, but we love him anyways. Mwah. Starting off with Piccolo, his father, King Piccolo, lost in a fight with Goku as a child, but has enough energy to lay his egg somewhere in the world. He at first had plans to carry on his father's goal in world domination, only for that to suddenly change when he has to train Goku's son for the upcoming Saiyan invasion. It's his connection with Gohan that gives him a chance to rethink his morals and position in the universe, as he now finds himself growing stronger in order to protect the ones he cares for the most. He sacrificed his life to save Gohan, fused with a fallen Namekian soldier in order to protect his home planet from Frieza's destruction, and makes the ultimate choice to fuse back with Kami in order to be strong enough to face Cell. Even if he's still a lean, mean green machine you don't want to mess with, he still finds time to hang out with his friends and even babysit Gohan's precious daughter, Pan. As for Vegeta, where does one even begin? He was a prideful prince of all Saiyans. Still is, and took out many planets to show how powerful he really is. He travels to Earth to wish for immortality so he can avenge his people by taking out Frieza, but still manages to kill a lot of people in the process. Since defeated by Goku, he vowed to destroy him and all who cared for him out of his own prideful vengeance, while also having to worry about Frieza. With Goku mostly taking the glory for defeating Frieza in an epic battle, it seemed like Vegeta kept drawing what he sees as the short end of the stick. His people are gone. The one guy he hates keeps beating him and taking his vengeance kills, and now has nothing to look forward to besides maybe one day killing Goku to show that he is more powerful. But then, something happened. Something we never imagined could happen, did happen.
Arrogant dick!
Spoiled sow!
You!
You! You!
My room, 10 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much that. Basically, he randomly forms a relationship with Bulma, who is honestly the only human who can handle his crap, and gets her pregnant. Still, it does take him some time to adjust to the family life, as his only goal was to be stronger than Goku. That is until the Buu Saga, as he is sadly possessed by Babidi with his blind ambition to defeat Goku while ignoring a possible apocalypse. He ultimately uses up all of his power trying to take out Buu, while only thinking about Bulma and his son Trunks. Now he is a happily married man with 2 beautiful children, even if he's too proud to admit it, but he'll still do whatever he can and even fork over his pride in order to protect his new home. So while this series is known for villains turning good like Tien, Android 18, Android 17, Boo, Beerus if he really counts. Okay, to be fair, he's only helping Goku for his own gain, but it still feels weird watching him help the others. Anyways, Vegeta and Piccolo still rank on top of their transformations, considering everything these two have gone through. As hard as it was to stick with our number 1 choice, and Ken Ichijoji honestly came close to taking the spot, we have to stand with our honest feelings and pick Vegeta and Piccolo as the best naughty to nice characters in anime. Yeah, with our scheduling and with how hard it was to choose number 1, this video came a bit late, but regardless, it was a fun one to put together thanks to all of you. I'll admit, 2018 had its highs and low points for us, but with all of you showing your support through your amazing comments, messages, and tweets, we were able to carry through this year. It's never easy making these videos, and the stress can be very real at times, so I personally can't thank you all enough, especially to our amazing Patreon supporters who have stood by our side, keeping our channel alive. I'm able to do what I love and talk about my favorite passion in life because of all of you amazing people. So from all of us here at Anime America, and especially from the bottom of my heart, thank you for staying tuned to Anime America. Happy 2019, everyone! Hey there, if you like what we do on this channel, be sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. If you wish to support us financially, we do have a Patreon page with numerous rewards to fit your budget. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at animeamerica, and be sure to check out our other channel, Pop Spectrum. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, Anime America.